I think let's just try again because it does look like the meter's going up.
Okay,
So,
meter up is good.
So I'll just count down. I'll just do a 5 count. 5.
Okay.
4, 3, 1.
Speedrun Ragnarok 2024. I am your host, Sporadic Erratic. I am absolutely thrilled to be here helping to raise funds for Take This. I would love to hear from y'all in the chat. If you can hear me okay, please let me know since we've been having a little bit of a time. You think you hear some things you shouldn't? Is everything coming through loud and clear? All right. So happy to be here. Well, just a little reminder that we're all here raising funds for Take This, which is a mental health nonprofit, and their main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. They're a fantastic organization. Really excited to be here helping to raise funds for them. And I hope y'all are extra hyped, just as hyped as I am for this run of Ultima 3 Exodus, any percent, no major glitches. Because as you can see, OrganMike is all ready to go. Take it away, OrganMike.
Oh, thank you, Sporadic. We are going to be doing a major glitch, though. This is the only Ultima.
Okay.
For a long time, this is the only Ultima where I did a major glitch. We do not. I don't touch any percent on this. But I'll worry about that more when we get into the run. There's a hair in my face. There we go.
All right.
Hi,
So wait,
everyone.
what is the category that we're
Any
doing?
percent. Any percent.
Any percent.
Any
Any
percent.
percent. Okay.
For the first wizard, how about Natara? Done. All right. So I've been asking chat. We need some names. So this is Ultima Exodus, game from 1983. This has a VGA patch on it. So instead of 4 beautiful colors, we have 256. We also have this music that you're hearing. The music was present in the Apple II and Commodore 64 version. I grew up on the Commodore 64 version. And this music, this fabulous score by Ken Arnold, definitely deserves to be heard. And since a lot of the run takes place in darkness and a lot of the run takes place with no sound, no game sound as opposed to music, I figured it was nicer to use the VGA patch and get some sound. So,
It is lovely. I've been enjoying it very much.
oh yes, this is some good stuff. So this is a party game. So if I select Journey Onward, there is no party. So we need to party. Therefore, we need to organize a party. The party register is blank, which is why there is no party. All right. So we need to create characters. So in entry number 1, the suggestion was for Natara. And in this game, from 1983, we can choose other. Natara is a fuzzy wizard. According to the, there's humans, elves, dwarves, bobbits, because H was taken for human, and the Tolkien estate had a tendency to be a bit litigious. So the other option is fuzzies, which are basically Ewoks. So for any of my Star Wars fans. So we're going 5, 15, 25, and 5. Wizards use intelligence to determine their spell points. So Natara's spell point limit will be 25 until we raise that intelligence. And that's why we choose a fuzzy. The second character was Ziggy, who will also be a fuzzy. So you could take human, elf, dwarf, or bobbit, but no, we're taking fuzzy. And will also be a wizard. We will create a third character, and I told the long-suffering, told my long-suffering help here, Sporadic and Garby, that I would give them the names of the druids. So the race doesn't matter on the druid because we're not raising their stats, but they're going to have 20 intelligence and 20 wisdom. Druids use both intelligence and wisdom to determine their spell points. They use whichever is higher. So why bother giving 20 wisdom as well as 20 intelligence? It's because druids get double spell point regeneration until they hit a limit determined by whichever is lower. So we're going to have 10 spell points, and we're going to have double spell point regeneration all the way up to that 10 magic points, which is good. because we need them to use a lot of very low-level spells. And sporadic, there we go. Mill, fuzzy, druid. I like making all the characters fuzzies because it just amuses me that 4 Ewoks are running around this fantasy world killing things. All right, now.
I'm living for it. I'm living for it. It's very period appropriate.
As this is a party, we have to form the party. So 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. We examine the register. They now have nice little red stars beside their names. We can look at individual characters if we want. Give us a whole description of the character. It's nice. And if we want, we can return to the view. And we get the lovely music and the lovely visuals again. You're going to see me for the first little bit running with this stylus in my hand. Hard to see against my dark shirt. I have over here a tablet. On this tablet is a chart. On this chart, I will be keeping track of things I pick up, because otherwise I won't remember them. It's not a tracker, it's just for random items I find. So, since we now have a party, it is time to journey onward. So the timer will begin when I hit enter on this journey onward. Whew, here we go. Alright, timer at the ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's roll. First thing, we're going to move 17 steps south. You won't notice my magic points are going up. We're going to go over here. Those are lava tiles. I don't want to step in them. We're going to go into this dungeon, and the volume is now off. So we don't hear, we hear music still. Now we go 10 steps this way. 9, 10. There it is. Turn to the south. 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn to the east. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Sorry, 2 steps south. 1, 2, 3. Where'd I end up? Where am I? 1, 2. This is off to a great start. It's 2 steps. There we go. And then we cast. So we're going to have Sporadic start us off. Sporadic gets to choose Wizard or Cleric spells because Sporadic is a druid. So Cleric spell B. Spells are run from A to P. So B, Apar Unem, it opens a treasure chest. So there's these lovely treasure chests on the floor here. We're going to open them all. But if I just open them just with the get treasure chest command, there's a chance I'll set off a trap. Setting off one trap isn't a big deal. Setting off a bunch of traps would kill me. Then we're going to use Wizard spell E, which will take us out of the dungeon. Takes us up a floor. Since we're on the first floor, we go back to the surface. And in the words of my shampoo bottle, lather, rinse, and repeat. So this is about, if you are flashing sensitive, this is about the worse the flashing gets. As I do this over and over again to gather a whole bunch of money. Going to now start by handing some equipment off because I've got to sell some of this stuff. When I don't have the magic points to actually cast the spell, I might as well hand the equipment, use those turns efficiently. This game has a history of being really mean to me in marathons, so we're kind of hoping... I'm not sure, it depends. Maybe we're hoping it doesn't, maybe we're hoping it does. We'll find out, I guess.
What has it done to you?
At one point, I accidentally... there's been some autosave shenanigans that have cost me a ton of time. The game performing as expected, but messing me around with the RNG, which has not been kind to my autosave. Not glitches, though there was one where I telefragged a horse. That was good. Left a horse on a square I teleported to, and then the horse was gone. Oh, we got a fight. We're going to try this. So on the first floor of a dungeon, we were only going to get fight with orc types and undead types. And I say types, these were labeled as zombies. They would have the same stats and the same stats, weaknesses, and abilities and sprite if they were skeletons or ghouls as well. Cleric spell A has a chance to just outright kill undead types, which speeds things up significantly. And then we use Wizard spell B, which is a magic missile. Finish the job. And they would have dropped a treasure chest. Now the other fun thing, the reason I'm not seeing too many fights is because the game will only start a random encounter in a dungeon on a square where it can drop a treasure chest. If there's already a treasure chest there, it won't start a fight. So my path through these 6 treasure chests that I keep opening up over and over again maximizes the amount of time I spend on top of the treasure chests, meaning the only opportunity I have to get attacked is when I actually open one of them. So it's a quirk of the game, which we will be abusing later. Because of course we will. I'm also looking at the moons every time I come out. I don't know if the flashing light warning is up, but at the top of the screen there's a... an axe. Good. Write that down. At the top of the screen there's a little sign that says level 1. That's for first floor of the dungeon. When that's not there, when I'm out in the overworld, it's got 2 moons up there. Now in the original, those moons were just numbers between 0 and 7. The graphics patch also gives graphical moons. So I have to remember what the phases are, but I'm keeping an eye on them because they tell me how many times I've been through this. Oop. Oh, sweet. Nice.
That spell is excellent.
Yeah, if it works. It's got a 50-50 chance of working to begin with. And then, from there, each individual creature can be affected or not. There's one as well for orcs, goblins, and trolls, which are the orc types.
Right, so we're spending a lot of time in this dungeon. What's our goal?
Our goal is a lot of money.
All right.
Yeah, that's why we're going after these treasure chests. And the treasure chests come back every time I leave. Whoops, don't have enough magic. Specifically, we need 6,000 magic points to put Ziggy's... or 6,000 gold to put Ziggy's magic points up. When we go to a later phase of the game, we're going to be going to a bunch of shrines. And one of them is the Shrine of Intelligence. And for every 100 gold we donate at the Shrine of Intelligence, we gain 1 point of intelligence. So we need 6,000 gold to put Ziggy up to 85 intelligence and 85 magic points. Another mace.
It seems like it would make a big difference.
Yeah. But that's not all we need money for. We also need money to purchase keys and time-stopping powder and viewing gems and what else are we buying? Oh yeah, we're gonna have to buy food at some point. If you notice in the characters' sheets, they're on their characters' information windows on the... Ooh, chain, nice. On the right, there's a food counter. By the F, it keeps ticking down.
Oh.
If that hits 0, the character starts starving, which means every turn that it does a food check, they take 5 points of damage.
Wow.
And it does a food check every 44 steps. But steps go 4 times as fast on the overworld. It does an MP check every 4 steps, so... You can easily, with 2 healers, especially 2 druids, you can support a starving party very easily. Well, let's hope this works. No, okay. So, that's just too many to fight. It's too slow. We're gonna hit the reload.
Questions from the chat. Does this run involve any regicide?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I believe an incentive was met to do just that.
That's right! We had an incentive for this and it was met yesterday! Would you like to tell everybody about it?
Yeah, sure. So, the creator of the game is a man by the name of Richard Garriott. And Richard Garriott still goes by the moniker of Lord British. So he is the creator of the game, and he is a self-insert into the game. And, as is traditional, tried to make himself invulnerable. We don't like that. Those of us who play these games, we don't like indestructible characters, so we're gonna kill them. Which means I have to remember to buy 2 extra keys. Possibly. Let's see. We'll see how it goes. I might
That's
not
right,
need them.
friends, because you voted for it
Yeah.
with your donations. Lord British is a going down.
Yeah, he must die. And again, his level of invulnerability depends somewhat on the version you're playing. The original, same thing. Like, if you get into combat with him, you die. There's no way to escape combat. I'm not too worried about a single zombie. So there's no way to escape combat. If you try and run away from combat... Where'd I end up? Okay, there. I'm in the right place.
It's dark.
Yeah. No grooves in this game, so... nothing to eat us. An axe for sporadic. Oh. I'm writing those down
Thank
because...
you so much. I was needing a new axe.
Yeah. I write those down because it's easier to keep track of them later when I have to go sell them. Ooh, leather. We do find leather and chain in the dungeon in its natural habitat, so sword for Garby.
So we're gonna be equipping most of this, or are we gonna be selling the majority of it, or
Selling all of it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So the top level weapon in the game are called exotic weapon and armor. That's just exotic. It doesn't actually explain what exotic means. There's a number of theories as to, like, if it's meteoric iron or something like that. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The point is that...
Floor schmore! It's worth the most money!
Yeah. But the point is they're free, and they're just available to dig up. So we're just going to go and get that instead of doing anything else. These characters can't use very good weapons or armor anyway. So the exotics are usable by everyone. Ooh, a two-handed sword. That will sell nicely. And since they're free, there's no need to buy them. We're just going to sell everything else. They're also required for the last dungeon. If you don't have exotic armor, the enemy can't miss. And if you don't have exotic weapons, you can't hit. So we're going to go through this, and I have a failure. We're going to join gold to 2 and check how I've done. 8,000. Good. We've got lots of money.
But here's another, like, D&D-esque question, since there are so many things that are similar to TTRPGs in this. Can you ever get encumbered by, like, carrying too much weight? Is that an issue in this game?
No, it's not. The characters do
so
have...
convenient.
Yeah. The characters do have individual inventories, which is frustrating at times. But it also has to do with the nature of the game, because you can register up to 20 characters, and you can create multiple parties. Well, you can't actually create multiple. You can have one party out in the world at a time. You have to disband your current party before you send out a new one. One of the things I want to do with this game, and I haven't done yet, I've got all the stuff set up for it, is to take a page at random.org and or whatever, and get a complete list of 20 characters, completely randomly generated. There's a mace, another mace for sporadic. Completely generated character classes, and go with that out into the world. I'm using 2 wizards and 2 druids right now. I've done one run of 4 random character classes, but I want to do 20 and see if I can beat the game 5 times.
I like to carry a mace, just in case.
Always good to have a backup for your axe.
That's right, when you tell somebody that you're going to join their party, and that they have your axe, and then they take you literally, and they take your axe, you have a mace. You're good to go.
Magic points. Spells in this game work. Well, again, there's a bunch of them. They've all got a letter from A through P, so there's 16. And they cost, if you turn that letter into a number, so A is 1, B is 2, and so on, up to P is 16. Then A, there we go. Figure out what I'm saying while I'm doing stuff. While I'm doing completely different stuff is always fun. Okay, you convert that letter into a number. Reduce that number by 1. So A becomes 0, B becomes 1. Multiply by 10, and you get the cost of a spell. Or multiply by 5, you get the cost of a spell. I was looking at the number 10 under the magic points, which is what caused me to say multiply by 10. So yeah, Appar Unem, which is spell B, costs 5 points. The Cleric Healing spell, which is spell C, costs 10. The high-level spell that we're going to be using a lot for the wizard, which is called Nakorp, which is one of my favorite spells, is spell O. It costs 70 points. This will be last time, then we go. One of the things I'm timing this against for my step count, which is what affects the moons shift every 4th step in the overworld, is I'm looking for an easy way to get to a town called Dawn. And Dawn only appears when both moons are new. Oh, we're gonna get an outdoor fight. I don't like that. Oh, I should have mentioned earlier. The game autosaves every time I go in or out of a submap, which is why I could, when I got that big zombie fight that I didn't want to take, I could just reload. Because the game autosaves every time we go in or out of a submap. I don't want my druids near those, because they've got all the equipment. The rogues will steal unequipped items.
Oh.
So, fortunately they don't hit that hard. Cut purses, rogues, and thieves, all the same type. You also might notice something unfair. Ziggy's getting attacked by 2 characters, even though one of them's on the diagonal. Enemies can attack on the diagonal in this game. It's really unkind. That's also how the rogue approached, on the diagonal. We're not going to... Time still runs in here, so we're not actually going to make our date with the new moons, I don't think. 6, 7, 8. There it is. Oh, I just made it. There we go. This is the town of Dawn.
Oh.
We're going to sell all our armor. We don't need a list, I know what they are. We have 1 chain, 1 leather, and a bunch of cloth. And see, when I try to sell something I don't have, it kicks me out of the shop. That's why I take notes. I also forgot to sell all my armor, so we'll have to go back. 2-handed sword. Put that under the wrong... I know we got one.
My mace!
Yep. That's okay, you'll get an exotic. I don't know what it actually is, but... I forgot to sell your chain. I don't know the plate. North. No, sell, chain, and a bunch of cloth. I don't have to write down cloth or dagger, because I just use them to just sell everything and just use them to get out of there. Now, if I try to join gold, it says no more room. That means I've got more than 10,000 gold across the party. We need... normally we need 8 keys, but we're going to kill Lord British. We need 10 keys. Powders, 10. Yeah. Gems, 8, 6. No. In the original...
What do we do with the gem? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'll tell you. You'll see.
Okay.
We're going to unlock this door back here. Rather than going around the front and buying horses, we're just going to talk to the merchants and arrange a deal. And so when you talk to merchants behind the counter, they say, "Eat death, scum," and attack you. Fortunately, merchants are not that strong. Unfortunately, guards don't particularly care who starts a fight, so they're going to come after us. But fortunately, we have a horse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hostile creatures in this game make a beeline directly for you. They don't consider what might be in their way, they just move in a straight line. So now all the guards are trapped up here in this armor shop. Why I stood there for 13 turns. We're going to hand off Natara's food to Sporadic for a moment.
Thanks,
And,
Natara.
Yeah. And we're gonna get Natara dead. So, okay, yes, so anytime I enter or leave a submap, so like when I entered the castle, the game autosaves. The game also autosaves when a character dies. And the game cannot save in a submap, right? Fit and save only on surface. Okay, so we're going to attack this jester here. Let's see if we can get away with this. We're going to use a time a counter to stop time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's Lord British coming after us now. Negate time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here he comes. Negate time. 7, 10. Okay. 7, 8, 10. Okay, he's coming. I was trying to get a guard following too. So now we're in a ship. We can't move the ship unless the winds are favorable. We're going to move offshore. And we're going to fire cannons at him. Lord British is destroyed. And that is an incentive met. Alright, we're going to reload our game. Oh, turn the volume off.
You donated for it, folks.
Yep, there we go. We have killed
that,
Lord British. Yeah. Unlock the door. This guard is not hostile, but he is following. So he'll pursue us. That's fine. That's not a problem. That's actually to our advantage. Because we're going to attack him. And remember I said the game autosaves when a character dies, but it also can't autosave on a submap? One of the things the game needs to know in the save file is, am I on a boat? I'm on a boat. We just had a character killed. So now we've had a character killed, it has updated the autosave, but it can't autosave on a submap. So when I reload, we now have a boat. And we'll heal Natara, even though they are not with us anymore. Need to wait for the wind. You? If the wind is calm, we can't go anywhere. We can't sail against the wind either. We'll heal up while we're doing this. And we need to come here to the town of Fawn. Get some provisions. 700. Hand out the food.
Local grocer.
Yeah.
All right, how do we feel about a donation while we're stocking up on provisions?
Beautiful. I'm just going to head over to the healer, and I'll just point out the fact that if you look in the character cards on the right, Natara has a D in the top right corner. That's because they are dead. Everyone else has a G. It's because they're good. It can also be P for poisoned, which is a death sentence at this point, or A for ashes, which is really bad. Anyway, while I heal Natara and leave the town...
S for ship. I'm assuming that Natara became the boat.
Yep. Okay, while I'm doing the resurrection and leaving town, feel free to do a donation. That would be great.
Yes, we have a lovely donation here from Tybalt2010 for $100.
Woohoo!
Who says, for the floor 6 Pazuzu in our hearts and all the deaths taken. Now, that was our final runner from last night, so incredibly generous donation. Thank you so much, Tybalt2010.
That is fantastic. So one of the things this has, still taking notes from the old text parser games, it has an other command, which allows a character to do basically anything you want. It's a roleplay command if you want a character to, like, jump, other one, jump, no effect, yeah. But what we're doing here is digging, and that's where we find the exotics. And now you're asking what we do with the gems? We're going to view a gem, we're going to peer at a gem. It will show us a map. And I am looking specifically for a little white dot. I think that's it right there. Straight south of the blinking dot. That is the whirlpool. There it is. I hit the whirlpool. You lose your ship, your crew, but you awaken on the shores of a forgotten land. This is necessary. I have to sacrifice a ship.
So long, ship.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go through these. These are forests, which is why we can't see through them. We're going to stop time from this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just a demon I don't want to fight. Why I'm stopping time. This is a shrine. If we enter it, it's the Shrine of Strength. We don't want to raise our strength, so we're not going to worry about it. The other thing that's fun, if you enter and like offer more money than you have, you can't cheat the gods. What we do have to do here is search. We get a card with strange marks. It's about yay big, got a bunch of holes in it. It's a punch card. So for those of you who are older even than these games, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are evil horses. They don't want anything to do with us. So for those of you older even in this game, you might remember punch cards. But we need 4 of them.
I love this mechanic so much.
Mm-hmm. Unlock this door. There's a pirate ship down here. If I didn't do the boat glitch, I'd be waiting for pirates to spawn into the main world. It can take forever, which is why I never do any %. This is a very hardy pirate. Thinking of that, I should make sure to wear my armor and ready my weapons, because we need those. Head up here. The winds were favorable, which is an unusual thing. Again, we're going to search this. This is the Shrine of Intelligence, though. So we're going to actually head in here for Ziggy. Enter the shrine. Ziggy offers 60 hundreds of gold. Join gold to player 1. See what's left. Natara's going to get 5,300, or going to spend the remaining 5,300. And watch their magic points go up. Because their intelligence is now higher.
I'm so glad that Natara is doing better now.
Oh, yeah.
No, they were dead earlier, but they got better.
Yeah. I just think of that as the $500 price of a boat.
The price to be transformed into a boat.
Yeah.
And then not a boat.
Mm-hmm. This is the Shrine of Wisdom. We're going to search this one too. I only really need to search this with one person. You only need one person with all 4 cards. But if that person happens to get killed in the final dungeon, you're kind of toast. So I have a backup of everyone having the cards. It doesn't take that much longer, and it's much safer. Because the final dungeon's a little bit random. Like, the dungeon itself isn't, but there's random explosions that can just blow up your hit points. It's not the best design in the world. Okay,
I mean,
so we're gonna
suitably brutal for the final dungeon.
We're gonna use a couple
Sorry
big
about
spells here. Yep. So there's a lot of pirates. I'm gonna use Nakorp. Nakorp is an 80-point spell. It reduces all targets to a single hit point. It does not miss. So any damage I do to them will now kill them. I'm gonna use K, the Noxun spell, which does damage, potential damage to all targets. It can do 0. But Magic Missile doesn't miss, so. And finally, this is the Shrine of Dexterity. That is not how you spell search. There we go. Calm winds.
Alright, while we're waiting for the wins, is it okay to talk about some bid wars and incentives?
Yeah, I'm just heading back to Caesarea. Go ahead.
Alright, friends, we have a bid war open to name the file for the very next run, the BS Legend of Zelda 4th Quest 100% run. So now is the time to get your donations in, since we don't have any file names in there. You don't have to donate a whole lot to be the first to suggest a file name for the very next run. We also have an incentive for the run after that. I'll make sure I'm getting this right. Yes, it is the run after that for Cassette Beast any percent. This is the cutest incentive I have ever seen. If this incentive is met, Cass will wear cat ears during the run.
That's a
see
must.
it? I want to see it. We're looking for $100 to unlock that. We're sitting at 55. We don't have a long way to go. So please get your donations in, and please click on those incentives so that Cass can wear some cat ears and we can have a name for the very next run.
Go for it.
I just want to talk about one more incentive, which is the run after that, the Tiny Toon Adventures, Montana's Movie Madness. We have an upgrade to any percent hard mode, and we are at $93.24 out of the $100 we need to meet that. So we're so close. You could be the one to push us over and upgrade that run.
Thank you, Sporadic. Alright, so what I've done here, I've gone into a dungeon, used the D, wizard spell D, to go down a floor till I hit level 8, which is the bottom, and I'm looking at a gem to see where I landed, because you land in a random place. I need to get to the lower left corner, so I need to go 1, 3, 2, 3, and then 2, 2, 2, 6, yeah. So 1, 3, 2, 3 is the important numbers. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not fighting that. So we reload. That's what happens if I forget to turn off the sound. Oh, and of course I landed in word spot 2, 2, then across. 1, 2, 1, 2, and all the way across till I hit the wall, and then 2, 2, 2, 6. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A red hot rod in the wall. Who will touch it? Natara. It leaves a mark. So if we scan Natara's, it's got the mark. They've got the mark of the snake. We only need one person with the mark of the snake, but we also need 2 more marks to get. Now we're waiting for Ziggy's magic points to come back. We need 85 specifically because of this. The wizard spell J, Foul DV, which costs 45 points, and then says cast a cleric spell. Well, cleric spell I instantly exits the dungeon and costs 40 points. And that whirlpool darn near took my ship away. I would have been very upset. Wind, please. Go. We need the mark of the snake, because only with the mark of the snake can we pass the Great Earth Serpent, which Exodus has ripped from its moorings to bring right here. And to do that, we yell the word Evocare. And I know that Natara just loves yelling, so there we go. Okay, and we're going to cast Wizard Spell G, which puts us in a random place on the overworld. We're going to cast it again, because that was not a great random place.
Shots fired. More shots than were fired at Lord British earlier with the cannon.
I think Natara would agree with me on that one, though. We don't need any more money, so we're just going to leave that treasure chest there. We're going to head over here into this forest. Yeah, we're in the right place. This is the Dungeon Doom. We're going to head all the way down to the basement again.
Sounds cheery.
Oh, yeah. And we need to go to that question mark in the middle, so we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the north. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the north, and 1, 2. And this is when everyone touched the hot wall. Now we're standing in a doorway, so the game can't drop treasure chests in doorways, and therefore we're safe to stand here and recover my magic points. And also do little bits of healing. Touching the hot wall gives us, in this case, the mark of force, which we will need later. And does 50 damage. J-I, and we're out. Now we just have to go back up here. And since this is a marathon, I'm going to adopt a marathon safe strat, which means I'm going to get on the horse. I'm going to enter Lord British's castle. We're going to do a traditional thing for me and punch a guard. And with the Necorp spell and magic missiles, I'm getting 15 experience points for every character every round. It takes 100 experience points to level up. We'll modify our order so Ziggy's in the front. We'll take care of these guys. Go. We'll take the other guard this time. So normally, if I'm doing personal best or world record runs, which at the moment are the same thing, if I'm doing personal, thank you. I am the only runner of this game actually, so it's not that hard to have the record.
Extra congratulations.
So if you're interested in an old game, by all means, come join me. This is actually a lot of fun to do. If you like a game with little randomness. So yeah, anyway, normally if I were doing a world record or personal best run, I wouldn't do any experience grind. You just go in at level 1 and 150 magic points, and you cross your fingers and hope that your half hour doesn't get wasted. Ziggy in front. Ziggy's at level 3. That's as far as I need to go take anyone. It's probably, like I said, I do this normally at level 1, so I don't actually need to go even that far. So one of the other things, interesting quirks of the game is that when enemies have a choice of who to attack, if they can attack, they will, obviously. But if they have a choice, they will always choose the character who's highest on the list. So they will prefer Ziggy over anyone else, prefer Natara over anyone who is not Ziggy, and so on down the list. That's important to know for how you strategize, where you put your characters and things like that. Oops, I should have... Wait, Ziggy doesn't need any more experience. We're just going to go to level 3. Tara's almost there.
I've never been so happy to be at the end of a list.
Yeah, there you go. There are advantages. And knock oxen. Go. And sporadic, you're 40 points off, so we'll do one more fight. We'll get there. Oops.
Sorry about that. Doing my best.
Garby got a couple of those zombie kills in the dungeon, which made things a little bit easier. 40 points off, so we need to kill 3 ones. Everyone ready to pull the trigger when needed. Okay, we're gonna do a heal up after. Oh, wow! They just pummeled her. All right, well, how much money have I got? 8. Cool. Let's get some treasures. Like I said, the game has a history of messing with me in marathons. How much money have I got now?
We couldn't break that. We couldn't possibly break that streak.
No.
We have to keep the tradition alive.
Yeah. So we'll just go back and grab some more money. Or we'll just fight some ghouls, I guess. Or not. I don't need the chainmail now. I'm not going back to sell it. Okay, we got 400. We need 500 for resurrection.
Are you still on the horse?
Yep. Unlike the game's sequel, you can take a horse into a dungeon, kind of. Like, the horse doesn't actually make any... doesn't actually do anything in the dungeon. The advantage of the horse, and you saw it there when I was fighting the guards, in the overworld, you move 2 steps for every one that the enemies take. You move 2 steps for every one.
That is very nice.
Yeah. In practice, it doesn't actually slow anything down, it just makes the enemies skip every alternate turn. This is not the way I want to go. Still need the Mark of Fire. We go talk to the healer. Need a resurrection. Yeah, I'm gonna pay. There, Natara is back to her good state, or back to their good status. And we talked to
Huzzah!
To get our levels. Otherwise, it says experience more. All that claiming a level does is raise your maximum hit points. Note that everyone's hit points are coming up again. Enjoy this little moment of Thomas Arne's Rule Britannia. We head south. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to go over here. The writing says go back. We descend down a very long ladder to floor 8. Turn north. Go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Everybody touch the hot wall. 1, 2, 3. Climb back up to floor 2. Turn west. Walk all the way across here. And there's a healing fountain right here. Zap our way out. And now we are ready to go and take on Exodus, because we should have the Mark of Snake, Fire, and Force. So we need to actually get to Exodus's castle. We were there briefly. We took a boat over to that area. There's some fighters coming to beat us up. I don't like that, so I'm not going to fight them. Hey. Gate, we want it to go one more phase to there. And then we want this one to go one more phase to here. And now we can walk over lava because we have the Mark of Fire. Look at that. Okay, here we go. This is Castle Fire. There are random explosions that happen in here. The whole point of putting the boat there was so that we can get a horse in here. This is a force field. It doesn't bother us because we have the Mark of Force. All right. To answer a question in chat.
We have a question in the chat about the music. Yeah, if the music is actually in game.
So I'm using Void Dragon's 2004 VGA patch, which puts the music back into the game. The volume affects the sound effects, which are truly ugly and are of no use to us. They slow us down. I'm going to pass one turn here. Then there's this dragon here. We're going to ignore it. Because I'm on a horse, I can get away from it. It's going to burn me, but that's fine. That's why we have all those extra hit points. So I just skipped 2 dragon fights I would have to take. That's an explosion. We're not having a great time here. So here's a fight. That was a good Nicorp. Yeah,
I was going to say that went well.
Yeah. Now, those random explosions are really intended to do one thing and one thing only, and that's keep me from doing exactly what I'm doing here, which is standing around and recovering my magic points. Okay, we've been hit too many times. Let's try again. Okay, that's what happens if the sound is on. And that's what the explosions sound like.
We are on a horse. Previously, we were on a boat.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
alright.
a horse on a boat?
No, unfortunately you can't. Got past the first dragons without getting exploded, and the second dragons without getting exploded. And we still got a good Noxon on the yeah, the first dragon fight, the first forced fight. First forced fight. That's a bit of a tongue twister. There we go. So I work in a theater school. I look for those tongue twisters. I'm gonna put Ziggy at the front of the party. Get things like real rock wall, real rock wall, real rock wall. The first forced fight, first forced fight, first forced fight. We're going to pass a bunch of turns, get Ziggy's magic points up high enough so that we can use... We're going to keep healed. Because we're doing marathon safe strats. Well, I mean, I would keep healed anyway, but because we have more hit points, I don't actually have to. I want Natara to have 50 so we can cast Noxon and another 5, just in case. The horse will breathe, or the dragon will breathe fire at us, but fine. Dragons, wyverns, and griffins are all the same type again. Woo! That was a good all attack. There we go. And we're past the dragons. Now we only have one thing standing between us and Exodus other than all these random explosions. And that is the infamous floor. There are 4 fights with floors.
A wall? I mean, a floor?
Yeah, 4 floor fights. Another tough one. So again, we're going to exploit the fact that I will know where where they're coming to, more or less. Now, player 2 is hit. That means there's 2. Okay. There are 8 of them up there that I have to take out. I start by pelting with magic missiles. They don't have a lot of hit points. They can hit fairly hard. Here's another floor.
Floor doesn't like that you looked at it funny.
No. I commented on the tile pattern and it took exception. And we just attack north till they come in. There we go. That's a few turns. Step over here. I can go here and get this floor.
Very different from the previous floor. Don't mix them up.
Oh yeah.
That's why this one's offended. How dare.
And then we just stand back here and let them come. Alright.
I'll take on all manner of floors.
Yep.
All 4 of them.
Yep. And one more here. Here we go. Now, the fun thing, if you're not really sure what you're doing, and you're not careful, and you're just sort of randomly wandering around, I mean, for one thing, it's good to know what they're going to attack, right? So, like I said, it's good to know the attack patterns of things. But you can actually stand on the floor tile that's fighting you, and it will attack upwards, I guess, into the Z-axis and hit you there. Okay, now the last thing we have to do is use that other command. Insert the cards. If we insert the cards in the wrong order, or if we insert the cards in the wrong place, well, watch what happens. So Ziggy is inserting a card, I'll insert the wrong card. Ziggy is instantly killed. Okay. Moons, and then the final one. So this is time right here. Now, there we go. And that's it. That is Ultima 3.
Take that, Exodus, who is a
Mhm.
floor? No. What is Exodus?
Exodus is an old computer. We put punch cards
Oh.
into it to initiate the shutdown system.
Right.
So the
Take
story,
that, Exodus.
Yeah.
Old computer.
the story goes that in the first game you beat the wizard Mondane, in the second you beat his apprentice and lover Minax, who was upset that you beat the wizard Mondane in the first one, and then in the third one, their evil demon computer Hellspawn comes out of the ground and decides to fight back against you. So, yeah, it's a fun time.
You forgot to shut it down before killing the wizard.
You didn't park it.
Oh, it's coming for your soul.
And that's
Thank
the game.
you so much. Yeah, thank you for that amazing run. Do you have any shout-outs you would like to do?
Well, just to the marathon for having me back. Speedrun Ragnarok 2021 was my first speedrunning marathon, so this place and the Valkyries are close to my heart. And it's been an honor and a thrill to be able to run some more Ultimas and some Bard's Tale for y'all. And thank you for your patience yesterday when I woke up without internet. So, trying to get that working.
I'm glad your internet was working much better today.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. So thank you, Sporadic, for hosting, and Garby for making the restream happen, and all y'all in chat for having a good time. And we'll see you again next year, hopefully.
Absolutely. I definitely hope you can come back and showcase more games like this, because that was lovely. That was very nostalgic, but you know, it was like a nostalgic level up because of all of those beautiful colors and this lovely, lovely soundtrack. All right, everyone, thank you for hanging